Hey guys, welcome to my channel Elite Wrestling World. My name is GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here on AEW Dynamite post-show review. Dynamite was a very good show tonight. We are building towards Wrestle Dream pay-per-view, which is going to be a fantastic event. It's the 5th anniversary of Dynamite. The show opens with Pac cutting a promo with Claudio and Marina Shafir. He says Wheeler Yuta isn't some soft, fluffy creature. Claudio adds that he and Jon Moxley are still the same guys, so if he has a problem, why doesn't he talk to them? Jon Moxley talks to Bryan Danielson. He says he's going to give him an opportunity to go out on his Shield, beautifully. On October 12th, he officially relieves him of duty. Excalibur thanks us for joining them for 5 years of Dynamite. Don Callis confronts Ospreay backstage wanting to talk about last week, but Will says he's kind of busy. We start off with Ricochet versus Will Ospreay for International Championship. Ricochet with a side headlock, Will counters with a handspring. Ricochet counters into a backbreaker and Ospreay rolls to the floor. Ospreay blocks a kick and lands a hard chop, Oscutter on the apron. Ricochet kicks his head off with a buzzsaw roundhouse kick, up top. Nobody home on the 450 splash. Revolution piledriver can't keep Will Ospreay down. Oscutter gets another near fall. Ricochet hits one of his own. Hidden blade, both men collapse into a double pin. Knox counts it and instructs Justin Roberts on the finish. The match goes to a double pin draw. Ricochet and Ospreay both call for the match to be restarted and Tony Khan gives it the nod. The match continues. Konosuke ruins it by attacking Ospreay. Will Ospreay wins by disqualification. Takeshita grabs the International Championship belt and holds it up while the crowd chants at him. The boys are interviewed backstage, but before they can say much of anything, Hangman Page attacks them and leaves them writhing in agony. Big Bill is in the ring for TV time with the Learning Tree, and says we've all become better people thanks to one man, Chris Jericho. He and Brian Keith make their entrance and congratulates Dynamite on 5 years and AEW on their new TV deal. But now it's time for the Acho to become the noob, and he challenges Mark Briscoe to a Raw World Championship match at Wrestle Dream, and to Mark Briscoe and rest of the conglomeration. Briscoe says he's gonna call Chris what he is, Chris by God Jericho, one of the most influential and finest wrestlers on the planet. Chris says if he wants to beat the Learning Tree, he doesn't think he can do it, but maybe Jay could have. Jericho continues and says everybody knows Mark will never be as good as Jay was. Mark tells him to get his brother's name out of his mouth and he's gonna get a Briscoe brother-style whooping at Wrestle Dream. Darby Allin cuts a promo in a junkyard. He talks about riding the bus and getting bullied by dudes. Weeks ago, when Jon Moxley said he wasn't ready to be the face of AEW, he saw those 3 guys, and he wasn't going to lay around. He'd rather get stabbed. He's got nothing left to lose, so he's making an open challenge at Wrestle Dream. Next is Hangman versus Juice Robinson. Hangman attacks Juice during his entrance, brawling on the stage. Finally in the ring, Robinson chokes Page with a strap. Juice with a cannonball through the barricade. Back in the ring and Page slings him hard into the turnbuckles. Page grabs Audrey to block, gets a low blow in there. Adam Page wins by pinfall with buckshot. Post-match, Page takes his belt off. He hangs Juice over the ropes. Switchblade Jay White makes the save with a lariat. Hangman runs away. White gives chase and spears him through a table. Renee is waiting backstage for an interview. Jack Perry. Shibata cuts him off and challenges him to a title match at Wrestle Dream. Jack blindsides him with an elbow and throws him into the front bumper of the bus. He accepts. Next up is Britt Baker versus Serena Deeb. Baker with a super kick and a pair of lariats. Serena with a dragon screw in the corner. Deeb with a German suplex. Fired up, Britt takes her out with a super kick. Deeb to the apron, Avalanche Air Raid Crash ISNT enough. Britt Baker wins by submission with lockjaw. Post-match, Deeb attacks but Queen Aminata makes the save. Mariah May is interviewed backstage. She says Willow is the definition of failing up and asks how many titles she can lose way into and calls her shady and disingenuous. Willow rolls up and they bicker about it. Mariah shoves her and a brawl breaks up that Christopher Daniels and security break up. Next up is a quick match for Private Party. Post-match, Cassidy gets on the mic and says they meant it when they started the year, saying they were coming for the tag titles. They will be your next AEW World Tag Team Champions. Enter the Young Bucks. Jack Perry attacks Private Party in the ring. Shibata makes the save. Christopher Daniels appears on the stage and has an idea. Private Party and Shibata against Perry and the Bucks on Rampage. Renee interviews MVP backstage. He has a big announcement to make and he'd like to take a moment to introduce. Prince Nana rolls up. He says MVP was talking spicy and he forgot Nana was a wrestler and he'll lace the boots up again to fight him tonight. MVP says he doesn't deal with complaints, but this man does, and he introduces his business partner, Mr. Shelton Benjamin. Benjamin asks Nana what he was saying. Nana freezes up. Shelton says good talk and takes his coffee, which is good apparently. Hurt Business is slowly but surely forming up in AEW. It's main event time on Dynamite. Bryan Danielson vs. Okada for AEW World Championship and AEW Continental Championship. Continental Championship is only on the line for the first 20 minutes of this match. Squaring up, collar and elbow, struggling in the middle of the ring. Nobody home for the diving headbutt. Danielson unloading slaps and Okada giving them right back. Label lock applied. We get the announcement that 19 minutes have passed. Danielson traps the forearm. Okada gets a foot on the ropes to force the break. Busaiku knee connects, but Okada rolls to the floor and the time expires. Only the world title is now on the line. Danielson with a senton atomico to the floor. Both men down and pulling themselves in opposite sides. Wrist control, drawing Danielson up. Short arm lariat and here comes Claudio to ringside. PAC is here to duck a rainmaker, backslide. He got him, it's over. Bryan Danielson wins by pinfall with a backslide, retaining the AEW World Championship. Post-match, Okada hits a rainmaker on Bryan before storming off up the aisle. PAC and Claudio get in the ring and help Danielson up until Jon Moxley arrives with Marina Shafir. Moxley gets on the mic and says none of this is what he wants. He's planning for something much bigger than himself and everything he does is for something bigger than himself. Wheeler Yuta makes the save carrying a claw hammer. Danielson attacks Moxley. PAC and Claudio hit the ring and the babyfaces manage to send them packing. Yuta calls out Claudio and Pac and says he's tired of being treated like a child and speaking of fights, next week, if they want to get to Danielson they'll have to go through him, too. Bryan grabs the mic and makes it clear, it'll be a tag team match, that's the show, folks. Please guys like and share this video, subscribe to my channel and keep watching Elite Wrestling World.